The Gospel according to Mark, chapter 5. They came to the other side of the sea, to the region of the Gerasenes. As soon as Jesus stepped out of the boat, a man with an unclean spirit came from the tombs to meet him. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with chains. He had often been bound with shackles and chains, but he tore them apart and broke them. No one had the strength to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and on the mountains, he cried out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and fell before him. He cried out, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For Jesus had said, "Come out of this man, you unclean spirit." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" He answered, "My name is Legion, for we are many." They begged him earnestly not to send them away from that region. Now a large herd of pigs was feeding on the hillside. The spirits begged, "Send us into the pigs so that we may enter them." Jesus permitted it. The unclean spirits came out and entered the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and were drowned. The herdsmen fled and told it in the town and in the countryside. People came to see what had happened. They saw the man who had been possessed sitting clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told what had happened and about the pigs. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been possessed begged to go with him. But Jesus did not permit him and said, "Go home to your people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he had mercy on you." The man went away and began to proclaim what Jesus had done for him, and all were amazed. When Jesus crossed again, a large crowd gathered around him by the sea. A synagogue leader named Jairus came and fell at his feet. He pleaded earnestly, "My little daughter is dying. Please come, lay your hands on her, so that she may be healed." Jesus went with him, and a large crowd followed, pressing around him. A woman was there who had suffered bleeding for 12 years. She had endured much under many physicians and spent all she had, yet grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, "If I touch even his garment, I will be healed." Immediately, her bleeding stopped and she felt that she was healed. At once, Jesus felt power go out from him. He turned in the crowd and said, "Who touched my garments?" His disciples said, "You see the crowd pressing, and yet you ask, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus kept looking to see who had done it. The woman, knowing what had happened, came in fear and fell before him and told him the truth. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your suffering." While he was still speaking, messengers came from Jairus' house saying, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any longer?" But Jesus said, "Do not be afraid, only believe." He allowed no one to follow except Peter, James, and John. They came to the house and saw commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. Jesus said, "Why this commotion? The child is not dead, but sleeping." They laughed at him. He put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those with him and went in where the child was. Taking her by the hand, he said, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." Immediately, the girl stood up and began to walk. She was 12 years old. They were overcome with great amazement. He strictly told them that no one should notice, and said that she should be given something to eat.